So I think it's always best to start with like you introducing yourself and your music, and then I have a few questions, and then we'll open it up.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm Garrett Ron. I have a lo-fi project called Ankle Music with a little delta instead of an A. It's kind of cheesy as fuck because it started as a joke, but then I was like, this is really fun and it's helping my production and keeping me like creative. So I've really just turned that joke into a project that actually brings me joy and some monetary gain.
Hey,
um,
that's the best thing.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just like a multi instrumentalist and wannabe producer. So,
All right. Well, my first question is just who are your biggest influences musically?
um, wow, I probably should have like prepared for this, right? That would have been a good idea. I think for my lo-fi project, there's this artist called Weird Inside. He's just kind of like a small chill wave producer that he has some fantastic sound design that I really like look up to. And it's one of those things where like if I'm feeling not very inspired, I'll just like go listen to like his discography and then be like, oh man, that was really cool. Like I want to like emulate that. Um, but just like, influences, my favorite stuff that really got me into making music is probably like Frank Ocean, you know. Uh I love King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Uh, I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's my shit. That's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to kind of go off of that, who or what inspires you?
So my sibling, Wilson Ron, they're like a EDM producer. They live in LA right now, and they actually work for DistroKid, which I'm sure if you're a musician watching this, you know what DistroKid is. Kind of have a grip on the market of music distribution. And they work for DistroKid, and then they do like EDM production and DJing in LA, and they've like been musical their whole life, right? Since they were like 7 or 8, and then they were like wanted to be a rock star, and they just like started doing music full time, and like looking up to like what they do and like having them as a resource and like someone to just talk about like my music with and having them like uplift me. That's been a huge inspiration, I think, for me.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing to like have that, to kind of having someone in your life that you can look up to and talk to and all that.
Yeah, no. And it's really nice to like steal stuff from them, just like, they had a friend that I like co-opted as a friend, and that's how I got playlisted on like a really big playlist with my lo-fi music. And so like I can like sort of benefit from all the work they've put in. And like as a producer, and like I'm still putting in work too and trying to be my own thing, but it's nice to have like that. I'm like definitely starting. I'm privileged to start like a step ahead of a lot of other musicians.
Yeah. Well, my next question is actually my favorite to ask, and it's just how does your life influence your art, and how does your art, in that sense, influence your life?
Oh man, that is a good question. I feel like my life influences my art a lot with like, like if I'm like going through like my discography of like the music that I put out and the music that I'm producing, it's always like a reflection of my general mood. So like in the summertime, it's usually like a happier, sort of more upbeat kind of thing. And in the wintertime, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so it gets pretty dreary and seasonal depression here. And definitely, I get a lot more like somber in then, and then I can make some really good music then too. And I think just like my life sort of infiltrates its way into my music through like overall vibe. Um, and I write some music with lyrics. I don't really release any of it, or haven't released any of it yet, but definitely just problems that I have in my life. I like to work out through uh, playing things.
Yeah. I completely understand that because I'm kind of the same way. Like that's how I process a lot of things.
Yeah, it's really nice to like because sometimes words don't really like do it all the way, right? Music can be like this really therapeutic thing where it's like you just have like a looper pedal in your guitar, right? You can just kind of like feel it, and like in a way that you can't really talk about. And so I think that that's like not really an inspiration, but definitely just like a way to like work through things that are going on in my life.
Yeah, for sure. So, my next question is just what are your goals for the next year?
Um, my goals for the next year are probably just like I want to release some music under my own name and not just like in my lo-fi project. I want to like start branching out away from that vibe and start releasing some more of my like indie music that I write. And I definitely want to start prioritizing my music a lot more. I'm also a student and I'm going to school for visual journalism. And I think that like while that's really important for me, it's definitely not as like it doesn't bring as much fulfillment into my life. And so I think I want to start just like putting my music more in front of my life and letting it sort of dictate my decisions instead of just having it be on the back burner all the time because it's important to me and I feel like I'm good at it. So I should do that.
Yeah, I get that because I'm going to college for like communications, like with
Right on.
concentration in like film and new media. So it's like
Oh, sweet.
sometimes I have to focus more on that because it's something that takes time, like filming a movie for class and editing it and all that. But luckily, it's summer, so music is very much it's getting its
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure like I mean, so visual journalism, like it's communication, right? But like I'm sure that you do get to like kind of use a lot of your artistic flair with what you're doing in school, I'm sure. Just because like I've done filmography, like videography for my classes as well. And I definitely feel like I can be like, oh man, this is like a new medium for me to explore in terms of like artistic expression.
Yeah, it's also great because when I'm home, I have like a label that I run with some friends, and
Oh,
like
sick.
what I've learned in school, I can use here, and we can film stuff for our music and use it for promotion and different things like that. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
it works.
That's super cool. I saw you had something posted in the little like Discord that had like a cool little animation. I was like, oh shit,
Oh
this goes
yeah,
off. It's cool.
it was just a preview for a song that the four of us, label wise, we ended up collabing on, and it's I'm really proud of it. I can't wait to release it.
Yeah, that's super sick. I love the like little animations that you can put on like Spotify now. I think it's called like a canvas, right? I think it's just like it totally brings it to like the next level. I know it's like a tiny little thing, it's like 7 seconds or something, but it just like it really contributes to the overall vibe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Are you gonna do that when you release that one? Just like keep that animation.
Probably, I think so. Because with that song specifically, it'll end up being on four different albums throughout the next year. So it's
Oh
going to be
shit.
a few different covers, and we're thinking we'll make a collage at the end.
Oh dang. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. If you're like collaborating with like, four different people and you all want to put it on this on like your own album, I mean,
Yeah.
huh. Do you do like a lot of collabs outside of that? I mean, I haven't really used Quadio as a way to do collaborations with people. So
Um, yeah, kind of. I see. I've done two or three Quadio collabs that I can think of that I've been a part of that are like out, release, that kind of thing. Um, and I mean, one was just like co-writing, another was like I did a feature, and then someone produced some tracks for me and
oh
that kind
sick.
of thing. I mean, I've also done some collabs like within my school. Like I produced a track for my friend's album back in January, February, and I I have a friend at school, like he produces some stuff for me sometimes, and I've collabed with some friends there. But yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I definitely like want to start using it more for stuff like that. Um, Recently I've just been using I just kind of like it because it's like a little like boost of like, oh man, people do like my music. And they like will tell me. And I also won like $50 in one of their like visual artist uh like competitions, which was pretty cool.
yeah, one of my best friends, she's like she does visual art, and she's won once or twice, and every time I'm just like, oh, I'm so proud, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I love those little inspiration things they do. It's like it like actually inspires me, which is nice.
Yeah. So I have one more question,
Oh
and
yeah, shoot.
it's literally just like anything you'd want to plug, anything you have in the works, that kind of thing like that.
Yeah, no, right on. So like I just put out a little EP. It's like 10 minutes, 7 songs or so. It's called Herbaceous Complacency. Um, and it is on any streaming platform you can think of, uh, because Discord or DistroKid kills it with that. It's definitely like not super lo-fi. The first 2 songs, like one of them is like, I think it's like 154 BPM, so it's like kind of bumping. Uh, but yeah, I mean, like I guess I just like uh, wanted to like I'm trying to branch out as a producer, but still stay with like a chill wave vibe. It's like a fun little journey. I like it a lot. Everyone should go check it out. It's like sort of the result of me just like one day smoking weed and like hanging out in my backyard and like looking at the bugs and the plants. And then I was like, I gotta like make this little journey audio visual. So yeah, that. And then I also have a few more songs coming out just as singles on my Audius, which is that really cool streaming platform that gives you cryptocurrency. So
That's dope. I'm excited to like hear the new stuff when it comes out.
sweet. Thanks. Yeah. I put one of the songs out on Audius. It's definitely I'm really excited. I just like here. I just raided my parents' house of all of like my siblings and I's instruments from back in the day. So now I have like a clarinet, a flute, a trumpet, a violin. I am like ready to just put all of it into Ableton, fuck around with it and make it chill. So
Yeah, that's always like the best part is just fucking around and seeing what happens.
oh totally. Like just one of my favorite things to do, I don't know what like digital audio workstation you use, but one of my favorite things to do is just like open like 3 tracks um, on Ableton and then just like play whatever I have going as like an underneath thing and then just like solo over it with like guitar or trumpet or clarinet or something. And then I'll just like on one track and then I'll immediately just mute that one and then go to the next one and then just do it again and then mute it and then do it again. And then I'll just like go through and like pick out the best parts of whatever those 3 like just like solo sessions I did and then like piece them all together to make the perfect little like solo track. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a really dope process. I might have to try something like that.
Yeah. Do you play like any like any live instruments or
Piano mostly.
oh sick.
I used to play guitar, but I haven't played in a while, so I'm definitely like rusty. Like I need to pick it up and practice that kind of thing. But
Yeah. I mean that's how I am on piano, right? I like part of the reason I love doing that is because instruments that I'm not very good at it, like piano, I could just like kind of fuck up a lot, but then piece together the parts that did sound good. So it's like I'm a good pianist.
yeah, because piano is like my main instrument, and it has been for. I started playing when I was 12, so like.
Oh shit, right on. Yeah.
But then I stopped for a few years, but got back into it, so now it's kind of normal again.
Yeah. I think like piano, I'm sure you can like speak more to this, but I feel like piano is like one of those instruments that like if you want to be a producer, you have to like have some theory based around piano because like otherwise you're just kind of flying blind, you know? Like I feel like I use my theory that I learned from taking some piano lessons way back in the day constantly. like all the time, and like just knowing how to like play even like a little bit helps me so much to like not fight with chords and make cool things. I don't know. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure you know a lot more about piano than I do at this point, but
Yeah, I'm actually a music minor, so I have taken like music
for sure.
theory also. And
Yeah.
I remember like I was taking music theory and piano lessons at the same time and ear training. And I hate ear training with a passion personally. But my professor, she was telling me because she was my ear training professor and my piano teacher at the time. And she was like, yeah, if you play piano, it tends to be that theory is easier for you because you're used to seeing that many notes at a time and like building off of like the chords and different stuff. And I was like, oh, that explains a lot because theory
Mhm.
has always been kind of easy to me.
Yeah. No, and it's like I feel like when you have like something that you can map theory out on, something as basic as a keyboard, right? It's like, oh, when you have the white keys and the black keys and like you know what intervals are and you know what a chord shape looks like, I feel like you can apply that like way more abstract knowledge of like the circle of fifths and stuff so much easier because you can just be like, oh, right, like when I'm on this minor chord and I move my like I move up to this one, it's like my pinky goes on that third from the first one. It's like when you can like put that at like onto a like map it onto a surface and that surface is a keyboard, it makes it all so much like I mean it's sort of just like that like meme of just like the like I like the lady with all the like mathematician things going around in her brain. Sometimes I'm like, oh shit, and then I like do this thing, and if I like transpose it down like one whole step it'll sound really cool. Like
It's like a whole process every time.
yeah, yeah, I feel like production uh is like oh geez, I'm sorry, I just totally lost it. Like I said, I just got back from a shift I did not plan on doing. So I don't know what I was about to say.
It's totally fine. I lose my train of thought all the time. So
Yeah. Yeah, I work as like a barista, which is like, you know, classic musician's job. And definitely that can get in the way of interacting with customers.
yeah, I I don't know. I don't really have a job right now because what it is like I'm only home for so long and then
Mhm.
like I go back and yeah, like I'm from West Virginia, but I go to school in New
Mhm.
York. So
Oh shit.
the switch is always a lot.
Yeah. Do you like lug all your music equipment back and forth?
Yes, I tend to leave like I'll leave my big keyboard here and I'll leave like my guitars here usually. But
Nice.
because when I'm at school, like I can always go to the practice rooms and play piano, so
Oh right. Yeah.
I don't worry too much about that. And of course, I have my little MIDI keyboard that I take with me. So
Nice. Okay, so like not too bad. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I was like with the pandemic and stuff, I used to go to like practice rooms in my university. I don't do music at school, but I think it's just really nice to have that little space to yourself with a piano if you don't own one. And like I don't know, it was kind of whack just like trying to do school and music out of my room, you know, and not like separating those two concepts in my mind. I'm sure like you already don't have them separated as a music minor, but I don't know.
yeah, it is kind of cool. Like when I just declared my major like last year because I was like, I don't know, do I want to do music full time? It was a whole thing, but
Yeah.
I do remember when we were learning how to use like the camera equipment that the school has. The one thing I understood was like the microphone. And I was like, yeah, it's we were in class and she was like, can you explain it? And I'm like, yeah, like it's a condenser mic, it needs phantom power, da da da. Like I wasn't planning on telling 4 or 5 people about this, but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, do you find it's like sorry, not to just like barrage you with questions. I'm just interested in you as a musician from I've never left the Pacific Northwest. And like it's super cool to like connect with people from like not here because everyone here is sort of just like the same. We're very a homogenous group over here. Uh, and like, do you find it tough to like learn music from I mean, because you were like we spent a year just going to school over Zoom, and like I know me like learning economics over fucking Zoom that was like fine, but like learning like video techniques without like someone right there next to me was super tough, and I'm sure like learning like music stuff over Zoom was probably the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I I had to do like a few piano lessons over Zoom when the pandemic first hit because we, like we got sent home, so we weren't
Mhm.
there. And like we did go back in the fall and it was okay because it was one on one. We had mass, we had like a thing that divided the pianos for lessons. But there were a few piano lessons I had to do on Zoom, and that was like very it's weird because it's also not with the sound kind of it's like it's not
Mhm.
as accurate as like because it's going through a phone or a computer and it's not the same as like hearing it in person. So that was an adjustment.
Yeah. I didn't know you guys went back so soon. I literally I quit school after a while just because I like up here in Washington, we're just now in the fall going back to in-person classes, but we spent like a year and a quarter out in our own homes with nothing really on campus except for like a few chemistry labs for like very specific people. And like, I don't know, I have a few friends who did like choir and they just had to record their voices and then they like all pieced them together and it sounded terrible because like a big part of choir is like adjusting to other people around you. But
Yes, I had to do that for choir too. Like it was completely
yeah.
on Zoom, and we just had to like we'd meet and we'd learn the parts and then record it, and it was just like, uh, no, because I also don't always like hearing like my recorded voice. Like I feel like a lot of people are like that. So I'm like, I don't even want to listen to it back to tell you if it's right. We're just gonna hope for the
Mhm.
best.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like I've gotten a lot more used to hearing my recorded voice just through like literally Zoom lectures over the last year. Uh, but yeah, I can't imagine trying to just be like sing your one piece, which like already it sounds super whack because like it's not supposed to be alone, and then like listening back and being like, great, I don't know if this is good or not.
Yeah, and also when they're like the pieces that are in like foreign languages too, and you're just
Oh shit.
like the Latin pieces, I'm always like, I don't even know what we're talking about. I'm like, I think it's about Jesus, but I
It's
don't.
probably about Jesus.
Yeah,
Half of all music is about Jesus.
yeah. I'm like, I think so, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh man. It's like some languages though, like sing super like they sound cool when you sing them. Cause like I did choir in high school and like we did a lot of like German songs and like German is like kind of a wonky language for an English speaker like me, but it was so cool to sing in German and like I don't know. It was really cool.
Yeah, I think we were actually working on a German piece in choir right before the pandemic hit, and we were sent home.
Oh,
So I
oh
don't think
no.
we finished it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like you guys probably just stopped doing shit.
It was like we always prepare for like a concert at the end of the semester,
Hmm.
and then that happened, and we were all sent home. So then we
Hmm.
like they had to quickly figure out how are we going to do this, and then we had to do the recording, and like she pieced together a video of everyone singing the song, and it was just like, okay.
Yeah. Have you participated in any of the like online like music festivals that like are really becoming popular with the pandemic? Have you seen those around?
I think I've seen them here and there, but I haven't really been a part of them.
Yeah. I've like seen a few of them, and I was like maybe gonna be a part of one for a little while here in Bellingham. Um, it just seemed super lame. I was like, we're all just trying way too hard, and like there's it's not worth paying to like watch someone do something on camera. It's just not the same, you know? Like, it's not the same as going to a house show. I went to, like, my first house show in over a year. I was, like, being a photographer for it, because one of my roommates plays bass in, like, a stoner rock band, and, that was, like, wild. I was like, "Shit, other people exist outside of my little bubble? No way." I was like, "There's other people my age? What?"
Yeah, like so at my school there's like a artist management company kind of run through the school.
Oh,
And
cool.
last semester I was like, that would be fun. I'm gonna join. So I did, and we actually did like a live show outside on the green.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, I just kind of filmed some of it. Like that was like my job that day. But it was like, wow, I haven't seen something live like this in so long.
Right? Oh god, I was like, there's a whole new generation of, like, students here that, like, they were, like, high schoolers when this all started, and now they're, like, at this house show? What?
And it's like
Super
I
wild.
and like I go to a pretty small school, and it's just like I've never seen these people before.
Yeah. Yeah, wait, so, like, how big is the school you go to?
Um, it's not like super big, but I feel like it's not super small either, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a medium
Yeah.
size.
Yeah. I feel like my measure of how big a school is, like, how long would it take for you to walk from one end of campus to the other end of campus?
Maybe I want to say like a 10-minute walk.
Okay, okay. No, I feel that. So that is kind of a small university. That's small. It's a small college.
Yeah, 'cause I think it's like a private school, but like I'm there on like, scholarships, grants,
Oh,
and a
dope.
few loans. So I'm not like,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, like it's a private school. It's in upstate New York. Like there's a lot of
Dope.
cool things surrounding it though. So that's great. Like there's always something to do.
Yeah. I feel like honestly a small school like my university Western is like kind of medium sized. It's not like tiny, but it's definitely not close to the size of some of the other universities here in Washington. Like UW is enormous. Um and like I feel like even with our, like, medium-sized school, I still, like, got to know the, like, community of the school a lot more, but I feel like with a smaller school, you just, like you get to, like, know everyone, like, it's high school part 2. Is that true at all, or am I just, like, speculating?
I mean, you tend to like get to know the people that are in the same kind of departments as you almost.
Mhm.
And then there's just everybody else. And it's kind
Yeah,
of like I know most of the musicians and a good amount of the communication students, and then like my friend group, and that's kind of past that. It's mostly just people I've never seen, or I'll see
gotcha.
I don't know them. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know, I was, like, really I don't know. I'm really like I took some time off school when the pandemic started slogging on as long as it did. Because I was like, fuck this, I'm not just gonna graduate without learning anything for a year. That's the worst. And so I like uh I'm going back in the fall now, but like all my homies in the visual journalism department have graduated at this point. And so I feel like I'm gonna have like one more year or so of just like I feel like I'm just gonna like have to be a new kid again. It's gonna be super weird, but I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to do an extra semester after this year, which
Mhm.
I've come to terms with. I've accepted it. But I'm just like, wow. I know some of the younger people and I'm friends with them, but also, wow. Like it's just gonna feel really different without the people I'm used to being there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like it kind of like takes away from the college experience to not have this like little group of people in your department that you like went through all the same struggles with for like a long time, you know? Especially with like a huge upheaval as big as the pandemic. It's like if you all like work through that together, that makes a lot more like it just makes you tighter versus like if some like new kid comes in having never experienced what it was like to be part of your department during a pandemic. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just going to create a kind of a weird cultural barrier, probably like especially with musicians because it's such a tactile like major or minor, you know.
Yeah, because I know, like, for musicians at my school in the music program, their schedules are always like the craziest. They're the busiest.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many classes you have to take that aren't even worth credit, but you still have to take them.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I straight up like I think the like like being a musician throughout the pandemic, like I feel like it's gonna create this like really weird cultural divide between people who like started doing stuff in the pandemic and people who like were already doing it and people who like started doing it after the pandemic. Like I feel like we're just gonna like we have like this K2 extinction event throughout like music production history because like I know so many people who like were stuck in their homes and they were like fuck it, I'm gonna like buy Ableton and just like start doing this, and then like they started doing all of this and like now they're like really getting into it. I mean Quadio is like a huge example of that, just like kids who like had some interest in music but like hadn't really taken that first step and then now they're like starting doing it. And like I mean it's been really nice for me to have like my sibling Wilson who like can just like has been doing this forever and can like impart some knowledge on me that I would normally not be getting because I'm kind of just doing it all alone in my room or like off YouTube, right? And then like the kids that like didn't have to deal with that who are going to like start producing like in this post-pandemic world, I feel like we're just I don't know. I wonder like what kind of divides not or not maybe not divides, but like I wonder what kind of differences that's going to create without it like between us and like how collaborating with those people is going to be and like I don't know, that kind of thing.
yeah, I get what you mean because I feel like for a while I wasn't doing music as consistently, but then
Hmm.
when the pandemic hit, I finally had that time to like sit down and work on it again, and I was like, okay, this is still what I love to do. I just wasn't ready then, and
Hmm.
I feel like having that time to reflect was just kind of what pushed me to be like, okay, this is still where I'm at. So yeah,
Yeah, and like I feel like uh just like learning that about yourself can probably be really hard to come into without that disruption, you know.
it's been a crazy year and a half. I don't know how long it's been anymore. So
Yeah. Yeah. I don't fucking I'm 21 now. I've had two pandemic birthdays. Uh and I, like the whole thing started when I was 19 and I'm like, dang, I still feel like I'm just straight up 19 because I saw the same 10 people for these whole like year and a half. It's like I haven't really grown at all. I don't feel like I should be buying alcohol at the store.
I turned 21 in like October. So it was like
Yeah.
I bought my first legal bottle of wine and I was like, this is so weird.
Yeah. It's like you just like drink it with your roommates because you can't see anyone else. Like,
Well, I don't have a roommate because I
oh
live
shit.
single, but like I have a friend like her house is like 2 streets behind my dorm, so we'll meet up there, and it was just like, okay, this is new, this is different.
Yeah. I feel like it definitely made me feel like man, birthdays aren't that special, are they? This is just another day. To not have like a bunch of shit going down on my birthday for 2 years straight. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like this year maybe I'll actually get to really do something. I don't,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Yeah. Do you ever do like costume themed? This is getting super far away from what we were originally talking about, but you're in October, so like I'm sure like it's fun to just like do like Halloween Junior sometime. I don't know.
I haven't because I'm like the first October 2nd, so I'm like
Oh shit. Okay.
beginning of October.
Cool. Well, that's like a fun time still because that's like early fall still, so you can like do stuff outside, but you still get to like I don't know. I base my entire life off of like what outfits I can wear because I'm very shallow. Uh, and so like I feel like you get to like still wear those cool light jackets and all those fall colors and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really big on like fashion and clothes.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. So it was just like, yeah, like for my birthday, one thing I did for myself was like getting new clothes. And I was like,
Mhm.
because we did do like a dinner, like a birthday dinner.
Nice.
So it's like, what can I wear for a birthday dinner? And that was where we went with that.
Yeah. I definitely put way too much thought into like my birthday outfits. I'm actually having like a little vaccinated get together with some people I haven't seen since before the pandemic later tonight. And I have 3 different outfits that I'm still trying to choose between.
I mean, it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I like man, one thing I like really enjoy so much is like open mic culture, you know? And like I really miss my university had an open mic before the pandemic that I used to do a lot. And like that sort of like super chillaxed environment where you can just like you're performing, but you're not like performing, you know? You're just kind of like going up there and just like doing your thing. And everyone else is doing the exact same thing, but like 10 minutes after you. Like
I don't know. I think that might be a thing that will be back soon. Things like more events, because I know I'm pretty sure New York State, like almost 70% or more of the population is already vaccinated.
right on.
I think. Don't quote me. But so, it's like there will probably be things to do, which is fun. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
and we all miss it, right? Like we all just want to do it again so badly. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to like talk about or?
I was about to ask you if you did. So,
No, no, not too much. I mean, yeah, like I said, just got like some shit coming out that I'm excited for. It's cool to be a producer and keep doing my producer thing. Sounds like you got some dope shit coming out. You said you're dropping an album, so that's dope. I've never done that.
I'm very excited. First, like, album ever, which is
Wow.
crazy. It's just getting the rest of these features together right now, finishing up recording and mixing, and that's kind of that'll be it. And then yeah, dropping it. So
Man, that's so exciting for you. Like, ah, fuck. I'm always like, I release little EPs because I'm like, I don't have the like mental bandwidth to try and like piece together an album that like has like a core concept. Because I'm like, I mean, like I said, I like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I'm big on like core concepts that the album all like circulates around. And like, I don't feel like I'm there yet. But
and my whole concept going into it was just like hot girl summer. That's it. All we got.
hell yes.
And like originally there were some tracks that were like more emotional and sad, but then I was like, I'm gonna push those back. They don't really fit right now, so not scrapping them, but not right now.
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, one of the tracks on the EP I just released, I made like 6 months ago. And I was like, this just doesn't really fit anywhere. I like made it in one night. And then like once I realized that I wanted to make this like little fun little just like, oh, it's like a traipse around my garden, like sort of feeling EP. I was like, oh man, this song I made like ages ago fits really well with this vibe. And like I like tweaked it a little bit and made it work. But like, yeah. I feel like every musician just has like a backstock of like music they've released, music that is yet to be released.
Yeah, honestly, it's always sometimes I have to go back and like I'll see it in my files and I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah. Especially when like I make a little thing and I name it like I don't know. It's in 4/4. And I'm like, great, very thanks, past Garrett. Everything's in 4/4.
Like sometimes I won't even open it, so it just has a date on it, and I'm like,
Mhm.
what did I make on April 22nd? Like,
Untitled 1, Untitled 2, Untitled 3.
it's really exciting because it's like I'm dropping an album, and pretty much everyone, the four artists on my label, all have albums they're working on. It'll,
Yeah.
it'll be kind of spaced out. I know it's like me and Jada are like really close together, and then Isaac is dropping his, and Janae is dropping hers in February. So we're like, we're working.
Dude, yeah, that shit's moving, shit's happening with the label. What's your label called again?
Gutter Music Entertainment.
Got music and entertainment. Right on. Good stuff. Mine's Chewed. It's just my friend who lives in LA with my sibling.
No, I mean, this is literally like the four of us we met in high school. And
Yeah.
last year, Isaac came up to us and was like, hey, you want to do this again?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. What are the advantages for you of like starting a label?
um, I know like my main thing is like obviously right now we're very small. Like it's just us and Jasmine who helps with a lot of the creative stuff. But for me, it's mostly just like having that team and that support system because I feel like we're also kind of a family now.
Yeah.
And like you always have someone to collab with that way. And it's like if someone needs a beat, somebody else is going to have it. If
Yeah.
someone needs help with lyrics, someone like we're there and we've got it. Like we bounce off of each other really well. And I think that's the best thing to have for me personally.
Dang, yeah, that's super cool. I've never thought about it that way. I guess when I think of like a label, I'm just more like the person who releases your music for you. But like I like the idea of it being this like this like little like collaborate this like little like mutual aid family of like, oh, you need this, I got this. Like I need this, you got this, thank you. Like that just feels super like I don't know. That solidifies it in my brain as something that's like worth it now. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, a big thing when we are going into it, like we do have a mission statement, and it's just like being true to your artistry is like the main thing. That's all that we want. But like having that support system within each other is kind of it's good and it helps push us forward. And now we have Johnny's basement as our own little home studio, so
Mm.
that's also like amazing. We're working on decorating, but
More than just like black foam sound insulation.
because right now like it's really just the basement, our computers, a microphone, and some headphones. But it works.
Yeah, and like I don't know. It's like if you have that space, it's like once you like carve out that space, that's like this is creativity space, and like we're all just like gonna come here, and like this is where we are creative, and like I feel like that's just super tight to have that.
Yeah. And it's like to kind of set it up as like a booth, we have like shower curtains hung up,
Oh yeah.
and then we have a table outside with chairs where we sit and we meet at the beginning and we take care of all the like business things that we have. So
Dang, that's sick. I like my recording booth is I'll just take like one of my quilts, just like throw it over my head and my guitar, or like my voice with my little amp or microphone here, and just like I'm like, yeah, I'll deaden the sound with this quilt. So I'm sure it's like a little better to have like actual like space, like little like walled off spaces for yourself, even if it's just like a shower curtain.
yeah, and like her basement has great acoustics, so it
Oh
works.
right, right on, yeah.
I mean, we have some cool lights in there. We have a color changing light bulb, and
Oh, that's decoration.
so we're working on it.
Yeah.
I guess that's all.
I guess that's all. Yeah, I don't know. I love your hoops, by the way. I don't know if I said that at the beginning, but they're great.
Thank you. Just classics to go to.
I like just got my first little pair of hoops. I'm usually like more of a stud guy. But like I was like, no, I can branch out this. It'll match my nose ring. It'll be great. And it worked. So I'm
I
noticing them more now.
I have a pair of like heart-shaped hoops that I like to wear sometimes too. So,
Hell, is like the heart like is the center of the heart like the hoop? I'm curious now.
but they're just like in the shape of a heart and they just hook like regular hoops.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, nothing
Sick.
crazy.
Dope. Well, yeah, thanks again for like just like letting me do this. It's cool to talk to like another musician, and like just like learn how what it's been like for you. Uh yeah. And like, also plug my shit. That's always fun. Never gonna pass up a chance to plug my shit.
Like that's the whole point of the series is just being able to sit down and have those conversations with each other as artists because I feel like we don't get that enough.
Mhm.
So I was like, hey, I'll just make a series for it. And here,
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me be a part of it. I can't wait for it to like pop off and then like your label is famous and then like by proxy I get famous because I had one of those early interviews.
thank you for being a part of it. It means the world to me, truly. And yeah,
All right, dope. I will definitely like plug the album when it comes out to my friends.
thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.